Evening, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earthwatch on Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Time for one more. Let's talk about distractions and cover-ups. There's that annoying line again. One moment. Okay. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about OCD. Distractions. So if we are drawing closer to an earth-changing event, and such as it is described in scriptures, there has to be cover stories and distractions. How many of you believe in the Ukraine situation? How many times has each side kept on jumping over the line? You do this, we'll do that. We'll never do this, we just did that. How many times? St. Petersburg, Russia being bombed is like Bangor, Washington submarine base being bombed. That Russian large command aircraft that was shot down. It's no difference between the United States E-4B command aircraft being shot down over the United States. Russian ships being sunk is no different from ships in San Diego being sunk. Orchestrated distraction. Senior NATO officials televising to civilians to prepare for World War III. There's a psychological impact too. They used senior military officials in uniform, authority figures, to garner your attention. And they're also talking about conscription. I was talking to my neighbor about this. Conscription. Canada's all part of NATO. If NATO declares war on Russia, orchestrated distraction. Canada would have to conscript the youth. Joel chapter 28, verse 2. Aside from all shall give your sons and daughters prophecy. Your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions. Years ago, I had a recurring dream, repeated dream. For me, as a family man, or for anyone, I was reinstated, put back into the military. I was separated from my wife and daughter by a great distance. I didn't know where they were or how they were, because I was sent off to war. Now, I'm 62 now with degenerative disc disease of the spine, arthritis throughout my dusty old bags of bone of a body, so they can't take me now. I'm grumpy enough, though. The Houthi Red Sea distraction. And now I hear that the European nations are getting in on the game. Distraction. There is no reason for the United States and the United Kingdom to go in and bomb someone else's country unless they knew it would get an Islamic reaction. It's the only reason why they did that. Distraction. You provoke a response, knowing that it's going to draw in Iran. Distraction. it becomes so predictive, you know what they're going to do next. Distraction. The global spraying program, it's not just North America. Did you know about 3 years ago, Bill Gates did publicly state that he was going to fund an operation to completely cover the entire planet in stratospheric aerosol injections. Cover story: an attempt to cool the planet down from global warming. Now we know that's bullshit. Oh, sorry. We know that's doo-doo. For those of us who are smart enough awake, we also know it, so we can't see into the heavens above. To the signs he wants us to see. I track these flight tracks when they spray, and they cross over one country into another, and obviously there has to be agreement and cooperation and coordination when you're going to spray over country over country over country over country. When some of those countries don't like each other. Come on, give me a break. Repeated warnings that the internet is going to go down from this big flare. The big flare forecasted to come in just like any time now. Predictive programming. So we cannot communicate to one another, and we cannot find information. When was the last time you went to the local library and got a book to find information? They are preparing for disease, so they can prepare for Have you not noticed all the violent weather changes? The ocean's inundations. Last year we had 24 magnitude 7+ earthquakes. We're off to a pretty good start this year. So the first 3 weeks we've had 2 so far. Maybe 3, but 2. In my rabbit hole that I go down, it's all orchestrated destruction, because Sal is making an appearance sooner than anticipated. It doesn't matter what your calculations are. Arnold, you back there, Arnold? Yeah, you were talking to me about calculations? Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I'm going to go back to the earthquakes for a minute. Last year, like I said, 24 earthquakes, 17 followed geomagnetic storms, CME impacts. As for the other 7, I don't know if they were after coronal hole streams. 24 earthquakes. 17 were within 3 days or so, following CME impacts into our planet. The reason why the satellite sensors are not picking up any heat indications, mostly throughout all of North America, is because there's so much damn spraying going on. Even through the heavy cloud cover, when I zoom in, you can see the trails. There's so much spraying going on. Why are they spraying so much? Is there a certain time of the year in Earth's orbit around the sun that we can maybe see something? I haven't had sun outside my window for months now. Conscription. And a lot of our youth, they don't even know what's going on in the world. Why am I being drafted? Why am I being thrown on a bus? Yes, there will be a solar superstorm, or they want you to believe. For when they pull the plug, so we cannot see and we cannot communicate, we'll be completely blind. That's why there's been so much predictive programming. Except for now. Just, had to offload. My real family doesn't listen to me. I think maybe I'm a whack job. Nutcase. Some of you probably too, right? Arnold, good work on that last lesson you taught me.